I was actually going to.
Oh, you were going to that day? Or
No,
you
sir.
were,
No, sir.
you know how hard that is to
I
believe.
was going to.
Well, on your terms, though. See, you were going to, the moment you saw an opportunity to do the right thing, you should have done it. We have 93% of our probationers are successful. 93, 13 out of 14.
I'm sorry.
And we hate it. And we're so proud of that. We want 100%.
Welcome to a courtroom math problem turned probation nightmare. Sage Marie Rodolphe faces a judge already confused by timelines, absconding, and a motion filed years late. Tension crackles from the first question. Buckle up for contradictions, consequences, and tough love. Subscribe for more dramatic courtroom breakdowns you won't believe unfold.
18-28781 is called Sage Marie Rodolphe. Is that you?
Yes, sir.
You're present here with Mr. Kimler, your attorney and the state's attorney. There is a motion to revoke unadjudicated probation that was filed over 3 years ago in 2022, which states that you were placed on 5 years deferred or unadjudicated probation on May 21st, 2018 for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. And it begs the question, how can you be placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation for 5 years when here you are in a jumpsuit and this occurred 6.5 years ago? And this motion was filed in September. Is this the first time you've come up for this? Where have you been? Were you an absconder? Had she absconded?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Y'all aren't saying anything. I'm just doing the math. Well, that's never stopped you before.
Well, based upon his motion, Judge, they don't want to make any comments on that regard.
Well, I mean, if the court wants to entertain the motion, I could.
Well, do I? It's up for you to assert.
Well, I'm presenting it to the court. Yes.
There's a motion to quash the motion to revoke probation. You want to assert it?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
We'll present it.
Go ahead.
I have a question, Mr. Morris.
Okay. Did you want to, hold on. Raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm any statement you make during this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, proceed.
Yes.
Will you identify yourself for the record?
Oh, Ron Marks, Jefferson County Probation.
And you're the probation officer for the defendant, Sage Rodolphe?
I was the supervising officer from January of 2020 to May of 2025.
When was the warrant issued on the MTRP that was filed?
Under the administrative hearing, recommended motion was filed in August of 2022. I believe the warrant came out later that month.
Efforts were made during the knowledge to execute the warrant at their last known residence.
We had due diligence attempts of the current case. I didn't do home visits because of the fact there was an active warrant against our policy to do home visits. I did telephone contact, I mailed some letters. I did also did through our system corrections software, our CSS, we call it text messages. And I did computer checks.
Do you know what efforts were made by the warrants?
No,
Department to serve the warrant on known residents from your department, the last known residents at the probation department.
Oh, no, sir.
She don't know the efforts that were made to actually go out and arrest her at the residence that she had on following the probation.
No, sir.
Excellent.
Anything else?
Do you know what address she was arrested at, sir?
No, the last approved residence that we had on her was, and this was stated, I know February 16th of 2022, or excuse me, March 16th of 2022. She was staying at 1114 Looting Avenue, Nederland, Texas.
And that was the address in response to Mr. Kimler's questions. That was the one where you were making all your due diligence efforts, correct?
Yes, sir.
That was the last known address she gave.
Yes, sir.
And she was required to let you know if that address changed as a condition of her probation, correct?
Yes, sir.
No.
Yes, sir.
Did she ever notify you of any change of address?
No, sir.
So if the computer information indicates that she was arrested at some address in Beaumont on Park North, do you have any reason to believe that that was her address?
Oh, no, sir. I didn't know that address.
And so as far as the issue of any due diligence, do you feel like you did everything you could to try to get this lady to be in compliance with reporting and doing what she was supposed to as far as her probation was concerned?
Yes, sir. Our normal due diligence is every 180 days. I did due diligence usually on her every 3 to 4 months.
And you did that throughout the time frame that you were her supervision officer?
Yes, sir.
And you've testified to that today, and that's one of the reasons why you're here today instead of our current officer, right?
Yes, sir.
You probably asked, you don't know if the warrant was ever attempted to be served at the using address in their room,
By law enforcement, no, sir.
and you don't know when she ceased to be at that address during the last 3 years.
No, sir. The last time it was reported to me that she was there by her was on March 16th of 2022.
And you don't know when she ceased to reside within the last 3 year period. Was that right?
No, sir.
And to your knowledge, no efforts were made to serve with the warrant at any time during the last 3 years or to execute the warrant. During the last,
You're mumbling.
no efforts were made, law enforcement or anyone else that can execute a warrant. No efforts were made to execute that warrant for the last 3 years of her living in
I object to the wording of that question. This officer is not responsible for executing warrants.
Do you know the answer to the question?
I didn't say.
I'm sorry. Do you know the answer to the question?
No, sir.
Okay, he doesn't. Okay.
You can't testify to that.
No, sir.
That's what you.
Anything else?
No further about their motion, Judge.
Anything else from the defense?
No, Your Honor. I would just move, I think, of course, familiar with the statutory authority that I'm relying on based upon that and states the state of the evidence as far as the execution of due diligence and executing warrant would be the prosecutor.
Anything else?
That's it.
Your motion is denied. It is not proven by Congress of the evidence of greater. And that's your burden. And what are we going to do today?
Well,
Let's move forward with the hearing. I mean, this has only been filed years ago. Raise your right hand, man. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statements you make during this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Statement called Ronald Barksdale.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry.
In summary, this motion alleges that on May 21st, 2018, in this court, you were placed on 5 years deferred or unadjudicated probation for the state jail felony of unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. Is all of that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you understand you've been charged with 4 violations of probation?
No, sir.
You didn't know that?
Mm.
Your attorney didn't tell you about that?
Wait, what? I'm
So
sorry.
you get four violations. The motion states, number one, you failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office on or about December 3rd, 2021, May 31st, 22, June 28th, 22, in violation of condition 4 of your probation order, which states you must report responsibly and regularly. Is that allegation true or untrue?
really,
Yes, sir.
It's true?
Yes, sir.
You failed to report?
Yes.
Okay. Number 2 states you provided a urine sample on or about January 26, 2022, which showed the presence of tetrahydrocannabinol, marijuana, in your system, which was in violation of condition 10 of your probation order, which states do not use or possess any drug. Is that true?
Yes.
3 states that you failed to provide verification of performing community service hours as required in violation of condition 18 of your probation order. Is that true or untrue?
not true.
I do a lot of my community service
Okay.
hours.
That's untrue. And then 4, you failed to pay court assessed fees as directed as of August 2nd, 2022. You were in arrears $7,347 in payments, which, hold on, consisted of the most important thing for this court, restitution of $4,600 is the bulk of that. But there's also attorney's fees, supervision fees, Crime Stoppers fees, court costs. But the bulk of that is restitution, which is always very important because the victim, when a case is resolved this way by pleas of guilty, the victim needs to get repaid. That's what, how much was paid back?
Oh, Your Honor, her balance, no, there's nothing paid for restitution.
Nothing?
No, sir.
$0?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a critical legal moment. By pleading true to violations, she hands the court power to revoke probation entirely. The judge slows everything down, ensuring it's voluntary and informed. Nervous pauses speak volumes. Would you risk everything here or fight on? Comment below. This choice changes everything permanently today.
Is that okay? Is all of that true?
I know I was behind,
All right. So are you pleading true then to allegations 1 and 2 of this motion to revoke probation voluntarily, and because those are true as they are alleged?
Yes.
You understand that a voluntary and knowingly made plea of true to one or more violations of probation, that is enough to grant the motion to revoke probation, and in this case, your probation could be revoked. You could then be found guilty based upon your original plea hearing that we placed you on deferred or unadjudicated probation for. You can now be found guilty and sentenced up to the full range for this state jail felony, which is no less than 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail. Knowing that, do you insist on pleading true to allegation 1 and 2 in this motion? You're looking at him. This is your decision. You can always get advice from him. Are you pleading true voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, and because those are true?
What is making you plead true?
I'm sorry, can I be explained what the question?
Okay, no, we'll just have a hearing on it. I mean, this is,
You understand you did.
you pleaded true. You understood that. And I'm just asking you, are you reaffirming that? You keep looking at him.
I'm sorry, I'm very nervous.
She's kind of nervous.
I'm very nervous, I'm sorry.
You know, there was a way to avoid all this. You shouldn't have run off.
I'm very sorry.
And fled.
I did not have, I did not
The
have
courage to come forth.
It was that, and then it was also, I did not have a good support system. I was alone.
How old are you?
I just turned 34 on Tuesday.
Wait. You've been an adult half of your life.
I've been on the tail end of a life.
You've been an adult and mature half of your life.
Yes, sir.
But you're saying during this adulthood, you're not being responsible, or someone else is supposed to be responsible for you.
That's not going, sir.
Are you accepting responsibility for your actions and decisions as an adult?
Yes, sir.
She said,
Allegations 1 and 2, are they true as alleged? You think?
Your Honor, she sat there and rough time with it, and I can
You know,
elicit that from her.
I know.
I'm not offering as an excuse.
God bless her.
And I would,
we all have our ups and downs, but we have 93% of our probationers are successful. 93, 13 out of 14.
I'm sorry.
And we hate it. And we're so proud of that. We want 100%. That's why we don't want a failure like with your situation. We don't want it. We want to be able to proudly boast 100%. No one in the country's got that. And I don't know who has 93%. The average is 75%. But it's not probation's fault. They're very active and they have great pride in success. And we do, the feds do too. That's why I hate to lose one of the sheep from the herd. Metaphorically speaking. All right, go ahead. One or the other. Either of you.
Well, I would just ask Mr. Barksdale if he would object to continue supervising if the court were to see fit to continue. It was the probation department's opinion.
How long has she been in absconding?
3 years.
Or how-
Technically 4
how-
years.
Well,
After all of that time, were you arrested? What happened?
Sorry.
how did you go into custody?
How'd you get invested?
They came and picked me up.
They came and got you.
My friend, yeah.
Yeah, okay. You didn't turn yourself in after 3 years.
No, sir.
What do you have to say for yourself? You could-
I'm not a bad person and I'm not a criminal. I'm a stay
Wait,
at home
hold on.
mom.
Hold on. We are judged by the actions, not what we talk about. The choices we make or what proves our character. Have you made good choices or bad choices?
Make bad choices.
You can fix those. We all make bad choices from time to time. But ma'am, being an absconder, you were able to live with this for years, knowing any moment someone was going to come up, knock on the door and go, you are arrested. Did you have a family at home and two? You have children?
2 small children, and that's why
You didn't think that was going to ultimately collapse on you?
I knew it was going to, and I needed to get a support system in
It was
place.
3 years long
There-
enough for you to worry about it?
Their father finally graduated and he got a process operating degree, and he's able to financially support them and me in my situation now.
Well, thank you for working on your terms, but you had committed a crime. You were under court's order, and 5,000 people have to follow the rules. They don't say, I'm not going to follow the rules. I'm going to wait until I decide it's time for me to do it.
Yes, sir.
That's like the tail wagging the dog. It's not the way it works naturally.
It was a bad decision.
But
I
every
don't
day
intend-
you were committing a crime for 3 years, and your children right there. I got grandchildren. I can't imagine putting my family in harm's way. This is easy enough to fix back then. It's difficult when we have to go find you after years and get you. Okay.
She was also a victim and domestic abuse, not like the person she's with now, early on. They said,
Here's the turning point. Probation explains the deal, the help offered, and then she vanished. No confusion, no paperwork error, just disappearance. The judge frames it brutally. Everyday absconding was a new crime. Sympathy fades fast. Can past trauma outweigh years of deliberate avoidance when responsibility was clearly spelled out?
case that was filed with the district attorney's office where she was a victim of a domestic assault, family violence. I think there's me, just my personal observation. Again, I'm not an expert, but there's some PTSD issues from that. She's obviously I think she has some.
What do you want me to see on that? Is substance abuse history?
2 things, Judge, the mental health history and the substance abuse.
What do you want to say about it?
Well, just that it's there for whatever consideration for it's to do.
Judge, that all that may be true, but the reality is she's tied her hands on this thing. She had a great opportunity back in 2022. She had an administrative hearing that was 6 months before we filed a motion to revoke probation. And the determination was she was failing. She needed some help. We agreed to put her in ISF. She signed some items to go through both of those tracks to try to address the drug issues, which is why I was highlighting that for the court. And then she was advised of all that on March 28th. And then after that, she just disappeared. She just disappeared. She decided she didn't want to do it for whatever reason. And she never contacted.
Let him speak. You're going to have a chance to speak. Don't interrupt him, please. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
The specific deal. She agrees to it. She reported on an office visit on March 28th. And then the words of the probation
March 28th
of 2022. Then the rest of our administrative hearing said defendant never reported back and her whereabouts are unknown at this time. I'm translating that as she disappeared, which goes right to what Your Honor's been saying. For every day after that, she knew what was happening. She knew it. She's known for now just shy of 48 months. I don't agree to place her back on probation. I think it's a sad situation, but it's one she generated herself.
Okay. Go ahead, defense. What do you want to say?
I think what Mr. Ham said is accurate, Your Honor, but it's what her own self is and how she's able to do things. That's the objective. There's the subjective to the person, the employee, and her own individual circumstances. I'm not trying to excuse it, but people are people. People have weaknesses. People suffer from all sorts of problems and things. And again, it's not an excuse. It's just an observation and a struggle. And obviously, should have handled this in a different way, but you're not dealing with a particularly strong individual or family. So that's not an excuse. It's just the way it is. So whatever the court does,
Well, it's
your,
I'm in a
your
spot.
determination.
The court's in a bad spot. The defense is in the bad spot, but the court has little position to do anything.
I don't think she
But
did extend
it's severe in it.
extended her
Number-
so there anything. Extended this.
Not only absconding, we have a victim here that wasn't paid a dime back
Now, if
for the loss, not a dime.
if I might, it's an unauthorized
I mean,
use. It's unclear if he lost. It's not a theft. So I don't
It
know.
was ordered to pay restitution of $4,600. It must have been probably damage to the car.
It was.
I don't know.
I wasn't
I
sure.
mean,
since
that's
it
only
wasn't-
common sense,
wasn't-
right?
Wasn't a theft.
Is that what it is?
It was. She was involved in a wreck that caused that much damage to the other individual.
Not a dime was paid back to the poor victim. And then you absconded. But 5,000 probationers, keep an eye on what this court does, on how things are going to work. And they're going to act the way the court rules. And you made promises you did not keep, not a one. Go ahead. You have a right to say something.
So whenever I had agreed to probation in the first place, I was under the impression that I was going to have a support system which consisted of my mom and my stepdad. I was unaware that.
So it's somebody else's fault?
No, so it
That's
was
what it
just
sounds
while
like
I
you're
was
trying to
sitting on
say.
my feet, like, because they asked me.
How old were you when you were here?
I think I was 24.
Okay.
Um,
You've been an adult for 6 years,
I
a
wanna-
quarter of your life.
I just want to add that I have the means now. I am my
On your terms.
I have no sir.
Yes, this is what
Just
you're telling.
like working like financially, I have the means now.
Okay, how long have you been doing that? How long have you been financially?
I just got on my feet like a few months ago after
Okay.
getting my children's father.
The moment you did, why didn't you report?
I was actually going to.
Oh, you were going to that day? Or
No,
you
sir.
were,
No, sir.
you know how hard that is to believe.
I was going to.
Well, on your terms, though. See, you were going to it the moment you saw an opportunity to do the right thing, you should have done it. But you did not. We had to find you again. This is a case where it's a terrible set of circumstances which you placed yourself in and the others who depend upon you. And this court has very little room on this one because everything surrounds reporting. If you can't do anything else, you got to report or else you're not on probation. You decided you were going to be in control of the probation, which is the tail wagging the dog. It doesn't work that way. It can't work. Then it's not going to work on this court's watch. We don't need probation officers. We got you. But how did you do? You didn't follow any of the terms of probation. None of it. Anyway, what else? Anything else? All right. If there's nothing further to add, I'm going to find that there is sufficient evidence. I'm going to find that there is sufficient evidence to grant this motion to revoke unadjudicated probation in cause number 18-28781 by a preponderance of the evidence agreed. As the defendant has pleaded true, voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently to allegations 1 and 2 of the motion to revoke probation. That is failing to report for years and providing urine sample, committing a crime by having drugs in her system. That's another. I noticed you didn't ever discuss that one about how the drugs fell into your system
So
You want her to, you know?
If she wants to tell me,
I'm not like an addict or anything like that. I mean,
but you're going to be forthright with me.
I get, sure, yes.
Where'd you buy the drugs from? Where'd you get the drugs from?
My sister.
Huh?
I got them
From whom?
my sister.
What's her name?
My sister.
What's her name?
Name Samantha was.
Where does she live?
I honestly couldn't tell
You
you.
honestly can't tell me where your sister
Where
lives?
was it?
I haven't talked
Where's
to
the
them
last
in a
place?
year, so yeah, somewhere
Last
over
place.
on I don't know the road name.
You don't even know anything about your sister, where she lives, but you get the drugs from her.
This was over what it was about 4 or 5 years ago, and I haven't spoken to her. We've fallen out, and I have not spoken to her in over a year. The last place I knew she lived was in that neighborhood behind 365.
The courtroom tightens as the judge connects the dots. Pleas of true, failed reporting, positive drug test. Legally, that's enough. Discretion narrows, patience ends, and probation collapses. This isn't about feelings anymore. It's about proof, standards, and precedent. The verdict momentum is unstoppable now.
You need them?
Anything else?
I have been clean and sober since all of that.
Is that your word?
It is.
You mean
yes,
just
sir.
like you promised to report and follow all the conditions of probation under oath that you signed on? That word that you gave me, is this the same kind of oath?
It's
Is the same kind of honesty you used now that you're using then? Using now that you
being
did then?
totally, completely honest, sir. I made a bad decision.
Oh, you weren't honest with me when you swore to follow all the terms and conditions of probation in the first place?
I was.
You're hanging in there.
I have a lot of mental health problems, and I am finally able to actually get some real, besides MHMR, because they were not helpful to me. They didn't have me on the right medications. I couldn't receive actual
It's
therapy.
somebody else's fault. All this happened.
No, sir.
That's what you're saying. When are you going to accept responsibility for anything?
No, I'm telling you, sir, this is my fault.
Okay.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
well,
I
stand up.
want to
All right.
take full responsibility because I have learned my lesson.
When did that happen? When did you learn your lesson?
Whenever I got in trouble, and it was my last.
When was that?
It was the last time I reported, and I knew that I was making bad decisions
When was that?
because I can't.
How long ago?
It's not good. I'm sorry.
Years ago.
It was a couple years ago. Yes, sir.
What?
I'm
You say, but I don't understand. You're speaking out of both of them. So you understood and accepted responsibility and realized everything you were doing was incorrect and wrong, and you were committed to doing the right thing. So quite naturally, you responded for 2 more years.
I was on my own, and I could not. I had to. I was so scared that I don't know what was going to happen with my children, and I got to.
Well, let me just say, I'm not losing this. The greatest gift you can give to your children is being a role model and setting a good example. So you were a fugitive for 2 years around your children. If nothing further, this is getting worse. It's a terrible story. It's terrible. You're supposed to set a role model, be a role model and example. You were sitting there with you know how your children, how adverse that can be for your children. I mean, you needed to fess up to this the first moment you were placed on probation. You did. So the whole family suffers. The little kids. I've got children and grandchildren. I can't even imagine making choices like your choices, because I think of my children and I see them, how it would affect them. But nonetheless, you were committing a crime every day in the household, every moment after you violated probation. All right. We've beaten this one up. There's sufficient evidence supporting this motion to revoke probation. Been granted by a preponderance of the evidence or greater. Its allegations 1 and 2 have been proven true by a preponderance of the evidence or greater, as the defendant has pleaded true, voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently. That is enough to grant this motion to revoke unadjudicated probation that was filed years ago. And it is granted. Your deferred or unadjudicated probation is hereby revoked. Earlier in this case, you had pleaded guilty voluntarily. You were made. Just so I understand and I appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted here to find you guilty beyond in your plea hearing to original plea hearing to now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the state jail fallacy of unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. And you were hereby sentenced to confinement in the state jail for 2 years. Plus, the judgment shall reflect you owe restitution of the full amount that you never paid a dime on to the victim in this case, $4,600. That will be in the judgment as well. You will be given credit for all time you have served in accordance with this case. And I think you have 152 days credit.
Would the court consider suspending it?
No.
Have a chance to pay the restitution.
I will send a message that you can abscond for years. And then when you decide to come back, you didn't decide. When you get caught, not on your own, it would have been different probably if she would have done the right thing that she said she was so guilty, the guilty feeling around her children for years, but she didn't make the step. And I am opening a door. Let me just say, we start opening a door. I believe in fairness in this court. And we start opening the door for that. Everybody's going to say the same thing. Okay, I don't even, when I get caught, I don't even need to come forward and do the right thing. If I get caught, I will use the Sage Rodolphe rule, because what's fair is fair. When I get caught, if I get caught, then we're going to play like I didn't accept responsibility. And that's okay. That's not going to be working against me. But this is the most important concept of all probation is you have to report, you have to be on probation. If you can't follow some of the terms, that's what the probation office is there to guide you and help you. You can't walk off the job from the beginning and then expect that we're just going to pick it up where we left off now and I'll follow the rules. It has its responsibilities. It also has its example for others. If you scamper off, I'm going to give you credit if you finally feel bad enough that you turn yourself in. But this is years, almost 4 years. You never felt bad. We had to find you and catch you here. So that's the court's ruling. I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be fair and others. But it shows the importance of you committed, you made promises, you didn't keep from the outset. And this is called accepting responsibility, something you have failed to do for years as a person and as an adult. And I'm the guy that has to put you into the responsible mode, but you're going to be held responsible. I feel sorry for the whole group, but it's your fault, your choices. And people who abscond, and when they finally get caught, we're not going to pick up like all this forgiveness. You've been thinking about it. This hadn't bothered you enough for years. That's the rulings of the court.
She is a convicted felon. There would be a difference. She would be sanctioned since she's lost deferred status. But I understand.
Court's rulings are what they are.
All right.
Thank you.
Final outcome: probation revoked, guilt entered, 2 years in state jail, and full restitution ordered after paying nothing for years. The judge sends a message: you don't control probation timelines. Accountability always catches up. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more shocking courtroom stories where choices echo long after judgment is entered.